Welcome back to another part of the 283 updates. And like I was saying, just always upgrade that. Get yourself a copper washer for that, and then you'll get a good seal. And always upgrade your oil pump shaft to one piece and do away with that plastic bushing. I believe I may have right in here. I think I had one. One of them I threw away. It came in a kit. I never use them. Oh, and I never use these either. They give you these intake rubber gaskets. I never use those. I always try and buy. You can actually get the copper version of these, which gets a much better seal. I'll either get them or I'll just take a bead of silicone and I'll put all through there. But I usually get the copper ones. Or cork ones, I should say. But my plans right now is I'm going to get a high volume aluminum water pump for this. Because the only downfall with this 283 is it's been bored 60. Which a lot of that is my fault. Because originally, before I had this motor rebuilt, I had tore it down. And at that time I was a lot younger. And just needless to say, I didn't know what all I was doing. I'm not saying that I know everything now, but I know a lot of the do's and the don'ts about these older motors. And the one thing that you always need to do, that the most important thing I think, period, is always use the high zinc and phosphorus oil. You can also buy the additive too. I think it's in an 8 to a 10 ounce bottle. Eastwood makes it. Or you can just buy Brad pen, which I like buying Brad pen because that way it's blended better. Then you don't ever have to worry about mixing it with the conventional oil. But that's one thing I've learned, is always use a good oil in these. Do not go out and go to Walmart or somewhere and buy oil and dump down these motors, because they have a lot lower zinc and phosphorus levels. That's the main, most important thing. And the next important thing is before you run these motors, you need to, if it's all original, like this one once was, make sure you have the hardened valve seats in it. This one has already been upgraded to it. Usually a machine shop. It's not too awful expensive. But this motor, of course, was made when leaded gas was still around. Of course, now it's unleaded nowadays. But that's the biggest thing, is always make sure and run a good high zinc and phosphorus oil. And always make sure and upgrade to the hardened valve seats. This one's already been upgraded. This one's had quite a bit of upgrades. I'm going to buy the Lunati set of roller rockers. And I'm going to do all of them cylinders. I just did the number 1 cylinder just to try them and see how they fit. And they're very nice. I really like them. But I'm going to get the rest of those. Eliminate all those stock ones, because these ones just, it's so much friction. And those roller rockers have a lot less friction. But like I was saying, the reason why this 283 is 60 is when I was younger, I decided to pull the heads off, which I wish I never would have did, but it's done and over with. But anyway, I had pulled the heads off, and it had sat in the shed for about probably 3 years at least. And it sat with the heads off so long that the cylinder walls just were rusted up really bad, because where that shed was, it was just a lot of moisture and condensation, and I really regretted that. But of course it had a lot of wear too. It had a pretty bad ridge. But this motor is actually a low mile motor, believe it or not. It has 89,909.9 miles to be exact. But that's one thing I wish I could go back in the past and change, is I never wished I would have tore it down and left it apart where moisture and everything can get inside of it. But it's bored 60. It has an RV camshaft. It has a comps cams, timing chain, and gear set. It has the lock plate for the bolts for the camshaft gear. I believe this is a Carter fuel pump. I'm not quite sure. It may be an AC Delco. And by the way, these are 1/4 inch threads and 5/16 fuel line. Because the newer small blocks, they have the 3/8 fittings. But these are 1/4 inch. And then I actually got the heat shields for the exhaust. That's just one off my 350 I just tried on here, but I got them on order. I got the exhaust manifolds I'm going to hopefully take to the machine shop here in the next month or so and get the studs replaced. I have the original manifolds that go to this, but they're just shot. They're almost beyond repairing. One of the ears is actually snapped off. I actually have them sitting right here if you can see them. They're no good. There's a oil filter canister, the original. I'm going to save that. I'm not going to get rid of any of that, because if I ever want to go back original, I'd like to be able just to swap it, all the stuff out on it, to put it back original if I ever want it. But since it's going to be a daily driver, that's why, one reason why I upgrade the oil filter. It's just more convenient and they're much easier to get. This is basically my eBay motor, might as well say, because a lot of these parts pretty much are off eBay. The timing chain cover, that was $15. That was off eBay. The oil pan was, I believe, $40. That was off eBay. The Transdat oil filter adapter, that was $35, $40, something like that, off eBay. The valve covers on it right now that are going to go on my truck were actually off eBay. The intake and carburetor were off eBay. The oil filler tube was about $20, except it came with a different chrome cap. That water neck was actually off eBay. The fuel line was actually off eBay. The pulleys were as well. But you get the picture. It's pretty much an eBay motor. Basically built it off eBay. But you can catch some really good deals on eBay. You really can. I believe that stand is actually off eBay too. I can't remember if it's off eBay or if it's off Amazon. I believe it's off Amazon. That was about $30. They're really nice. But I hope y'all like these videos. And something else I want to point out real quick. On the push rods, I always like to buy the chromoly or either the original GM one-piece push rods, the ones that don't have the tip pressed in, because these push rods are the chromoly ones. They're just standard length, but they're much nicer. Plus they will take, they will last a lot longer. That's another reason why I upgraded those too. I actually had a push rod in my 350 in my truck. I had the pressed in it, and then it started coming apart, and then it got stuck into the rocker arm. So I believe I have right here. Yep. I don't know if you can see that, but it's a tip that's broke off in there from one of the pressed in push rods. Those Zonati roller rockers that are on that 283 actually were to replace this rocker arm and the other one on the number one cylinder on the intake exhaust, but I decided just to throw stock ones on that because that's just a stock motor. It's just to get back and forth to work. That's all I was worried about. But this one, I tried them on here and they look really nice. They're about $250 for a complete set, but they're well worth it. These are really nice. I'm going to get the set and put the rest of these on. I'll go in the firing order 184-36572 and get all the cylinders when I go through the firing order at the compression stroke, so the valves are both closed. I know it's other ways you can do that, but I like going through the firing order. That way I know they're adjusted right. But this 283 right here is, I could not believe it, because here we are 4 years later and it's been untouched. This motor's never been started. I could not believe when I even picked it up that it's been untouched for 4 years. And just so y'all know, I know a lot of people out there, a lot of people tell me, like, you know, I had a 283, I had a car or truck, something older or vintage, and they always tell me, well, I sold mine. And needless to say, you can get your car back. It took me quite a bit of research to get this motor back, but I got it back. I had to track it down, but I got it back. So anybody out there who's wanting to track down and get their car back, go for it. This was really my first car. That's what makes this 283 so special. I wish it had the original 2-barrel and the intake that came on it originally, but that's okay. Originally it had a power glide. But this 283 is very special. But I hope y'all are enjoying the videos, and if y'all are out there, you can do it. If y'all want to go out there and get you a car or buy one that y'all sold like a long time ago, go for it. You can get it back. It takes a lot of work. It really does, but you can make it come back. You can make it a reality again. I know now I will never sell this 283. I hope y'all are enjoying the videos, and thanks for watching.